What's up, everybody? I am Gunucorn and welcome back to my channel. All right. Y'all know what to do. Come on in, hang up your coat, kick off your shoes,
and relax your feet and buggy on down to the STP. Just kick it.
Go ahead, sign up with Betty in the back. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And if at any point you're feeling a little stressing on your chest,
if you get to feeling stressed up in your chest,
drop down in the comments below and sound off. All right, we are back with Real Housewives of Potomac. Oh. This show sucks. I can't even describe to y'all how hard it is in order to get through every episode. I didn't even do an episode review last week because nothing was going on and it was just a whole bunch of nothing. Basically, the season is giving Real Housewives of Potomac season 7, the Rhea. We still rehashing old beefs. We still talking about last season. Wendy and Nneka is still talking about things that happened past weeks. I'm tired of Wendy and Nneka. I'm tired of Candace and Robin. I'm tired of Gizelle and her daughters. I'm tired of Ashley and her forehead. I'm tired of Charisse and her deep breaths. I am tired. I'm tired of everything. I want it to be over. I want it to be done. I want it to be over. I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest. But look, we are going to try to talk about this episode because I do think that this episode was, while this show sucks, this episode was informative. It was healing. And all bullshit aside, this was a very emotional episode for me. I did not come into this episode thinking that I was going to be walking away crying, and Mia being the very last person that I would think get any kind of real genuine emotion out of me. But we'll get there. Actually, we're going to get there real soon because I'm not talking about a lot of this episode. So, Gizelle's daughters is going to college. We've been hearing about it since they were 4. Okay, great. They're going to college and we're all sad about it or we're happy about it. I don't know what emotion we're feeling at this point or what we're supposed to be feeling for Gizelle. People go to college every day, girl. I ain't got no kids, so, maybe I don't know what it's like, obviously I don't know what it's like to have a kid go to college or whatever. But I do remember being a kid going to college. And my little sister did cry when I left. So, it is a sad thing, I guess, to be separated away from your family and somebody that you've helped raise or somebody that you have raised for 18 years. I can absolutely understand how that will be a little hard to let go. Either way, pack them bags. Grace, please get out of Dodge and go live your life, baby girl. Go pop. I'm about to say something crazy. Let me not even do that, okay? But anyway, so then Candace tells us that she went and got a mammogram. She done found some lumps. And she want to get them things taken out because she don't want to have no chance of catching the breast cancer. I don't know how I personally feel about, I don't got no titties, but men can also get breast cancer too, just so everybody know. But I don't know how I feel about removing the lumps or whatever procedure that there is in order to get the lumps out if they present no harm. But they can potentially lead to harm. I don't know how I feel about it because I'm one of those kind of people that feels like, unless it's necessary, I don't think that you should be letting the doctors go inside your body. Because that to me always leads to more things. But I haven't done any research on that, the statistics of preemptive measures in order to avoid cancer or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Because it also seems like if a lump came up, then a lump could return if I don't know. I ain't even going to touch on that for real because I just feel like Candace should do what Candace feels is best for her. Cancer doesn't even necessarily run rampant in my family, so I haven't experienced a lot of people who have had cancer. But ultimately, my opinion on it is that Candace should do what Candace feels is best for her health in regards to that. Next, Candace meets Nneka for lunch, and they discuss, them potentially becoming friends, but Candace letting her know, like, girl, look, Wendy is my home girl. I like her a lot. And what y'all got going on over there is potentially holding what we could have going on over here back. So I want you to talk to that girl so we can move forward, because I think I like you a little bit. And honestly, Candace and Nneka kind of give similar energy with, being spoiled, coming from money. I'm assuming that Nneka comes from money because, she said her daddy is a rich bitch and she want to be just like her daddy, boy, like her daddy. Purr. So I feel like Nneka and Candace have more in common than they do not. The only thing that's standing in the way of them potentially becoming friends is the Wendy of it all. And I feel like Wendy has gone off and made friends with all of Candace's enemies at one point. So I think it would be in her best interest to do whatever she wants to do in regards of the realm of friendship, because Wendy don't be concerned one way or the other about Candace's feelings when it comes to Ashley and her, not being friends or whatever. So that's how I feel about it. But also, we got to give Wendy a little bit of credit. She was standing on Candace's side 10 toes down when it came to the whole Monique thing. So maybe Candace feels that she owes Wendy a bit more loyalty than, we have seen Wendy offer to Candace. So that aside, was there anything else that went down at this little luncheon? No. Candace looked cute though. Anyway, then we head over to Mia asking the questions that needed to be asked. Now listen here, Mia girl. You listen here, Mia girl. Now look, I ain't never liked you, and I ain't never gonna take that back, because all of the reason why I liked you in the past are still present today. I think that you are a liar. I think that you're manipulative, and I think that you are somebody who schemes and plots to get what you want. And in a way, I can respect that as long as it does not like harm me personally. And also, I don't know. It's just some of the choices that you make. I'd be having a question, because it just never seems. Mia lacks authenticity problem. She lacks authenticity, and I always question how genuine she is when she is telling about her trauma and the things that she's been through, because it always seems to be a bit performative and always seems to be a bit of a sympathy grab. Like, oh, y'all like me, or y'all excuse this bad behavior because of X, Y, and Z that I've been through. Mia is one of those kind of people who can dish it, but she can't really take the backlash of it all. So sometimes I just have a hard time with her. But I will say, this one episode, baby, you did that one thing. You did that one thing, Mia Thornton, let me tell you. So we get down to this restaurant cooking class where she meets up with Juan and Robin and all of their lives, and they're cooking pasta, shrimp scampi, I believe. And so Mia gets right on down to business. So, what happened? Because you was putting down cards. Now, Mia brought up I think I was so consumed by this man's lies that it didn't even occur to me to think of other ways that he could have handled this situation that would have made far more sense. Now, you say that you barely know this woman and you never met her in person before, but you trust her or like her enough to go and pay, first of all, to pay for her stay regardless. But then two, you take your ass down to the hotel room to go put your card down on the table for a woman that you was not about to lick and stick. I have an issue with that, because like Mia said, you could have just did that over the phone. I book rooms all the time. And you can absolutely put your card down on booking.com and get the desired results. Like, you did not have to drive all the way down to the hotel room and pay for it. So that lets me know that there are still parts about that story that we do not understand. And if you was watching very carefully, Robin was not breathing, blinking, or moving as Juan was talking, because I think that this story they have both come up with, and she was either trying to make sure that he did not miss any details of the story, or she was catching secondhand embarrassment because she knew how Juan was feeling while having to answer those questions. So, and it actually might be a combination of the both, because I can also see her still feeling like, oh God, I know he's gonna hate me for them asking him these questions. But at the end of the day, Juan, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. First of all, you sound like you're lying. You're looking all up. Your eyes is all shifty. Your breath is all hard. You're saying and You gotta think. You're thinking about the lie as you're going. Like, damn, what Robin told me to say right here. You are not only a liar, Juan. You are a bad liar. Robin, you also know that this man is lying, and I hate it that you covering for him. At this point, Robin knows full well, and I think that they've probably had conversations about what had happened. What's the real that happened, but I'm very curious as to why we've never heard the woman's side of this story. Where's she at? Why? See, now, had we been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya would have drove her ass, crossed the pond over there to Canada, drove that lady back to Atlanta. They would have met up at fucking Fogo de Chao, and they would have had it out in that place. Okay. Kenya would have got down to the business. I don't know why y'all so scary over here in Potomac. Y'all ain't got nothing else going on. Y'all literally doing nothing. Y'all are doing nothing. Somebody can go drive over there to Canada, pick that lady up and bring her back so she can give her side of the story. Somebody remember this for the reunion. Okay, the reunion is coming up, and I think that would be a great place for it to go down. Anyway. So let's get to the portion of this episode that really got me emotional. So Karen is throwing this event with PAVE, and I'm not exactly sure what the acronym stands for, but it's about sexual assault survivors and their stories, and maybe trying to spread awareness and prevention, I'm assuming. So, the women are all going around the table or whatever. And first of all, Candace, girl, you looked good. I love that gold suit on you and the French bun with the natural hair and that auburn. Candace, one thing about that auburn and y'all gonna eat every time. It's a winning combo. The gold suit, the auburn hair, and the chocolate skin, baby, mwah, chef's kiss. Okay, all my girls look good. I don't know about y'all. I don't know who y'all stand in this situation, but my girls are good. Wendy and Candace. And Kiana is an honorary my girl because the way she whooped Deborah's ass. But she also looked good. So so at a certain point, a woman gets up to sing the song that she wrote about her experience with sexual assault. And then we cut to a bunch of confessionals where some of the women talk about their own sexual assault experiences. And I was very surprised to learn that Candace is a survivor. So is Ashley, and so is Mia, and so is Robin. And my heart goes out to all of y'all survivors. Well, when Mia starts crying, I can immediately tell that it had struck her. And I think listening to the song, it also struck me too. And then listening to Mia when she was talking to Ashley about the first thing that she thought was to blame herself and to take responsibility for what had happened to her. Why did I stay there? Why didn't I leave? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? I just want to say thank you to Mia for exposing yourself like that and bringing awareness in the way that you did and just standing up and telling your truth, because I can imagine it was not easy. I can definitely imagine that it was more painful than we even saw on TV. This is one of the very rare moments with Mia that I did not question her sincerity or her authenticity, because I felt that through the screen. Yeah, this episode was a lot for me. Because you just never know who it is that has been affected by this, who is a survivor and who's not, just by looking at somebody. Being a survivor of sexual assault is not one of those things that you can just see, you know? And a lot of people just carry that around with them all the time. And they have to put on a brave face and mask it throughout the day, knowing that still eats them up. So kudos to Mia, kudos to Candace and Robin and Ashley for all being brave enough to share that with us. Yeah. Now, emotions aside, now, I do have to say, while I do believe Mia's sincerity and authenticity in this moment, I do have to say that there is a piece of me that is still like, Mia took this opportunity to be vulnerable and expose herself and, you know, tell her truth. But she also was still at work and said, you know what? Well, two birds with one stone. Let me also clean up last year's mess by telling the people why I was so mean to Jacqueline. If y'all don't remember, Jacqueline is her best friend of like 30 years or something. And they had a big falling out last year because of the way that Mia was treating her. And now on this episode, she is helping us understand why it is that she treats her the way that she treats her. It is because she does not necessarily blame Jacqueline for her sexual assault experience, but she felt abandoned by her friend in that moment because she left her alone with her boyfriend and her boyfriend took advantage of the moment. I do think that is an unfair, if it happened the way that Mia said it happened, I personally think that is an unfair thing to take out on her, because it was not her fault, just in the way that it was not your fault. The fault lies on the person who assaulted you. It was not who was there and who was supposed to be there and who should have came back, or what you should have done, what you should have said, or how you should have left. It is solely the responsibility of the person who assaulted you. So I do think, even with that being said, that Jacqueline is still owed a huge apology, and Jacqueline is owed something. Like, if this was you trying to use this as like sympathy points in order to like reel us in and get us on your side about the Jacqueline thing, you're wrong. It did not get me on your side. What it did do was help further explain why you were so nasty to her last season, but it does not justify your actions. You are a grown lady, and so is she. And if that is your sister the way you say it is, then I think that you owe her the conversation to explain why you have so much resentment towards her. That's me personally, that's just what I think. But yes, that was my thoughts on this episode. And if you have anything, please drop down in the comments below and let me know. All right, y'all. See you next week. Toodles.